The bands from the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s, those are the metal bands you... My friends, the time has come. Literally 6 hours ago, the band Bleed From Within, yes, from Scotland, released a new track called The Will to Resist. It's going to be the official visualizer. Now, this band goes beyond any other band's capacity to create music. And I'm really honest saying this. I've seen them live, crazy. We actually had the privilege of being on stage, shooting some footage while they were performing last year at the Reload Festival. Shout out to them. They're amazing. And they write so good. They are definitely one of the best bands in writing metal, because nowadays it's very hard to still somehow recreate yourself as a band and recreate the sound in the song structure as we know it, since there are so many bands out there doing the same, since there are so many metalcore bands sounding the same, so for some reason this band really stuck out to me the most in the last 2 to 3 years, for sure. I have no idea about this song. I've heard a couple of the songs from the last record, just from the word right now, just from the wording and the title. I don't even know if this is really from the last record or not. It says, present The Will to Resist, taken from the deluxe edition of the band's latest album. So that means Shrine, by the way, it's called Shrine. That means I definitely didn't check it out yet or heard it. That's always a good thing. This is going to be very biased because I love this band. Bleed From Within, The Will to Resist. Let's do this. If you haven't subscribed, of course, by now, please make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell button. You can also do this robot dance or the snake dance, or of course your favorite, the eyebrow dance. Here we go. All right, let's check it out. Of course. Yes! The guitar work once more. Yeah, you can really find out about the strength of the song if you pay attention to what actually happened. They released this song just now from the deluxe edition of the latest record. Now, this is not normally the case. People or bands, artists, they release, first of all, the strong songs from the normal record, and then maybe years later from the special edition, if they even release something from the special edition. So that means they were so pleased with this song that they said, you know what, it's time to release it now. Very unusual. Love it. Three, two, one, go. Oh, beautiful transition to the pre-chorus now. Love it. If you like the drums, yes, that's a drummer from Sylosis as well. The pre-chorus reminds me a bit of I Am Damnation. Maybe that was also the reason why they took this song out at first. I don't know if they wrote it later or if they included this one in the normal recording session for the original record. I'm not sure, but it might be the case because the pre-chorus sounds a bit like, yeah, like the pre-chorus from I Am Damnation. I think that was it, yeah. Yeah, beautiful melodic. Right there. I see the end, I repent, I'm falling again. Look for the end, just the fear of the end. What a sign of progress, in spite of all the self-made bullshit. Finishing strong, that's how crazy Bleed From Within is. I mean, it literally says the will to resist. They are resisting everything coming their way. And if you pay attention to their lyrics, it's always about strength, power. I remember exactly one fragment from one piece from a lyric lyric piece. I think he was saying something about around those lines. I don't have anything in it, just an urge to grind. I was like, man, this goes hard, man. Perfect. This is really the love child between Parkway Drive and Chimaira. It really has the progressive and crazy songwriting sound, you know, from Chimaira without being too over proggy, too progressive. Because at one point it just sounds crazy, like a circus song, not for them, not for Chimaira. So that's very brilliantly done. Perfect. However, it still has that raw feel, especially the vocals, of Parkway Drive, which I love. Combine those. I mean, this is a band. This is Bleed From Within, and they don't sound like anyone else. At the same time, you can find, you know, something in common with other bands that, first of all, I love. Second off, were the number one band in each segment, each genre. Chimaira, for my opinion, number one. You know, one of the first bands of the new wave of American heavy metal. Parkway Drive did something completely new. I mean, they combined punk with almost like metal, death metal voice, death metal vocals, and then metalcore involved. So both bands did something crazy, and to put Bleed From Within within that group, I think is perfect, but it really makes sense, and a great live band, great energy. Very rare nowadays. The bands from the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s, those are the metal bands you would like to see live. I'm telling you. The bands later on, majority of them are not really bringing the energy to the table.